Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. On the surface, it seems like a quiet coastal community. But once you actually start driving through the neighborhoods, there's like a massive difference depending on where you want to live. We're going to look at some of those places today to kind of give you an idea. We're going to look at different neighborhoods and communities in there. And the reason why I bring that up is because some areas give you great access to Camp Lejeune, the back gate. Some give you easy access to the beach and awesome beach days. And then of course, others provide waterfront living. And others, well, others can go ahead and mean you have a much longer commute, less convenience, and maybe problematic with your lifestyle. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and take you through our neighborhood blog where you can see these different places in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. I am Stephen Skakandy. I'm with the Skakandy group of living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina. And I help people just like you make good decisions whether they want to buy, sell, or invest in the Jacksonville, North Carolina area, Sneads Ferry, and the surrounding areas. And whether you're looking to move in 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months, I've got a plan to help you win in this or any market. So come and join us as we take a tour in Sneads Ferry. So Sneads Ferry is, that's right, you guessed it, on the water. What does that mean? Well, it means you've got access to boat ramps like this one we're at right now, which is a free public boat ramp down at Fulcher's Landing. From here, you also can do a lot of kayaking and of course, numerous waterfront homes. So all that really emphasizes the water view, living on the water, and of course the lifestyle that you get to take part of. So I like to come down to Fulcher's Landing in the evening, watch the boats come in with their fish on them in tow, and it's just a nice thing to come down here, watch the sunset, watch the water, and see what kind of catches that people have gotten. So if you love the beach and you love the water, this is the place to come for those reasons right there. So the emotion of the ocean, come down here and easily get your boat in the water after work or before work. That's all you need. All right, so we are going into Chadwick Shores right now. It's a gated community here in Sneads Ferry, and it's actually one of my favorite ones. And it's such a unique community, and it's got different ages of construction and styles in here because they first started breaking ground in the late 70s, right? 78, 79, that type of thing. And then they are actually still building. There's still lots available out here. There's not as much new construction, obviously, but there's still some. And we're still, the water's right over here. It's Chadwick Bay. Can't really see it too well. But we get a little further down and you have pretty good deep water. So if you have a boat that has a rather deep draft that's 31 feet or bigger, this is actually a good community for it. But like I said, you've got to be pretty high up in the numbers. You have to be in like the 900 addresses on Chadwick Shores Drive or a little higher because the deep water ends somewhere around about the mid 700s. So right down here, you have a decent view, you just don't have the deep water, okay? That's what you get here. But as we go through, you can see newer house. This was built in the last 3 years right here. And then we're gonna come up to some houses that are considerably older that go back to the late 70s, early 80s. And also, fun fact for Chadwick Shores, if you've got small children and you're going trick-or-treating, this is a great place to go because this street's a big horseshoe. We're not gonna take you down the whole thing, but you'll get a feel for it. And then there's smaller side streets in the middle. And it's fun to take small children and run them up and down the streets. But if you're a race car driver, you got to watch out for that too, because you can run laps in here, right? Well, Sneads Ferry Auto is what I call that. Okay, one of the communities I'm really fascinated by is Escoba Bay. And I think that's because Escoba Bay is a great mix of kind of two different worlds. You've got the boat ramps, and for people that like boating, it's absolutely great. But the other thing it's really cool for is people that are horse people. It's one of the few communities where you can actually store your horses at. They have a stable, obviously, and a place where you can store your horse and help you take care of it. This community also has a really nice clubhouse. It looks like an old Southern style plantation home. And there are local people, dance companies and things like that, that actually rent this out and utilize it. And then of course, you do have a nice in-ground pool where a lot of people always ask me, hey, I want to have a pool. And my answer always is, you live right by the ocean, what do you need a pool for? But I guess it goes back to having your cake and eating it too, and you've got a great pool that you can lounge by, still be close to home, as well as be able to make it to the ocean. And then of course, if you like to travel a lot, and say you've got an RV or camper, you can actually store it in a place that the HOA provides for you. So Escoba Bay is a winner. Now the homes are not as new, a lot of them are older, and in the beginning of the community, they're smaller ranch and they get larger as you go into the back of the community by the water. But it's definitely a great place to check out. Welcome to the Citadel at Southpointe community in Sneads Ferry. So what have you got? You've got new construction that's still ongoing with a builder named Mungo Homes. Mungo's been building homes for years, mainly in Wilmington and Southpointe area. And they recently got some land and decided to come up this way. And we're excited to have them and what they bring to the community. And this community is a really nice one. Super convenient to the back gate of Camp Lejeune. You simply go down the road we just traveled in on, bang a left, and keep on trucking from there. So they are going to be in the parade of homes coming up later on this month, so excited about that. And we're gonna kind of take you through and show you some of the houses they've got. I've sold a few in here already. People really enjoy them because of the incentives that Mungo is currently providing. The double incentives of closing expenses, as well as a generous interest rate buy down, which really helps everybody right now, because everyone's a little price sensitive because interest rates are a little high. And the interest rate buy down is a tool that we can employ where you can pay some money up front and get an interest rate that's actually lower. Now, this tool doesn't work for everybody in every situation. However, the clients that have bought out here have appreciated it and what it's offered them in terms of what kind of house they could then purchase and what their monthly payment would be. Would make things a little bit more affordable for them. So in the Citadel at Southbridge, we talked about convenience. Convenience of location to main side, particularly the back gate. So what does that mean? Well, it means easier lifestyle, better access to home, easier to get there. But if you are actually going to work at Stone Bay, it's an absolute game changer, because if you do that, you can get home a lot faster, just like we're doing right now. All right, here we are in Mimosa Bay. Gosh, this is a really storied community. Much newer homes, big homes, it's gated. It's got a beautiful community clubhouse with a pool, built-in pool, and of course, waterfront access. So this community, they started building it out 2005, 2008 timeframe, and it was slow going at first. But imagine if you'd wound up buying out here then. These houses, as big as they are, as expensive they are now, they weren't all that expensive then. So it's, when I look at this community, I think of coulda, shoulda, woulda for a lot of people. And I say that because, you know, we had the economic downturn back in those days. And this community was originally envisioned in a time when, frankly, it didn't happen as quickly as they wanted it to happen. And it finally came through years later. So they were just late with everything. But it took a long time for people to buy into this community because, remember, what was always Sneads Ferry? It was about fishing and farming. And this was the first time that Sneads Ferry really had like a high-end type of place, and people weren't ready for it at the time, but now they are. And it was done by a couple developers, RA North, that make communities like this nationwide. And they made another community, which when you see my video coming up next month about Holly Ridge, we're gonna go through that community and give you an idea. So this community is the sister community to that community, and I don't wanna let the cat out of the bag just yet, because that is a story in and of itself. But I'll just say that, hey, this is a great one in Sneads Ferry. We're headed into the preserve at Tidewater. So this is a community that I'm a big fan of because it's close to all the main roads. You've got newer construction here with big houses. This was the model home years ago, okay? And you do have a playground here now. You have a beautiful built-in pool and a clubhouse area. And you've got a lot of different designs out here. And what they've done too is they really have a nice, the way they've set it up, it really complements the nature around here. As you can see, they didn't just clear cut. They left a lot of trees and native vegetation around. So you'd have these green spaces that you could drive through as you were driving home. So big fan of this place. And I like the fact that if you want a 3-car garage, there's quite a few homes out here that actually have that. So it's just a really good place to be. The preserve at Tidewater. So let's talk about lifestyle. I'm talking about local seafood that's brought in by the Davis family, Mitchell's, and all the shrimp boats that come here. We're actually a shrimp boat, well, the shrimp capital of the world is Sneads Ferry. I'm talking about small time or small town atmosphere and a slower pace of life. We've got that here. Now, it might be disappearing a little bit as more and more people come, but moral to the story is you definitely know you're in Sneads Ferry. And I'm surprised we haven't come across the Sneads Ferry automobile just yet. That's our legions of golf cart driving folk that are in the area. Oh, speaking of golf carts, we're going by Tom's Golf Carts right now. Go ahead and get you one. Here's where you can get your automobile. And you gotta love this place right here by the water. It's almost forgotten most of the time. And we're the only car on the road right now. Okay, let's talk about the commuting reality. If you live in Sneads Ferry, you're roughly 45 minutes to Wilmington. If you have somebody that's gonna work in Corning, or you gotta make a run to Costco or something like that, you're looking at 45 minutes. If you're going to Jacksonville, it's about 25 minutes to get there. However, what does the traffic look like? Well, that's really dependent on what time of year it is. As we do this video today, the summer season's just starting up, the tourists are coming, and traffic will get rather rough. But getting into the back gate, unless it's the time when everybody's going to work or everybody's leaving, it's pretty smooth sailing, as you can see right here. So we are, with minor traffic, able to easily come and go onto base. So it's time to ask who Sneads Ferry is perfect for. Well, I think that there's 3 people that find this place great. The first one is military families. okay? Because the back gate into Camp Lejeune and having easy access to base. The second one would be beach lovers. Heck, you've got the water right behind you. You're about 8 to 10 minutes from North Topsail Beach. You can't beat that. And then the third group of people that Sneads Ferry is perfect for was people that really came out of 2020 when remote working became a thing, because we had to figure out a way to continue on as normal as possible while make sure that people were healthy and safe. So if you're military, if you are a beach lover or remote worker, I think you can find a home here and you'll be really glad that you did. Right behind me is the Riverview Cafe. It's one of the oldest local restaurants in Sneads Ferry. A few years ago, we had a horrible storm, Hurricane Florence, and the Riverview came back better than ever. It's a great local place for, you guessed it, our seafood, as well as a great place to meet with your neighbors and hang out. And we're gonna actually step in and grab something to eat right now. All right, so I've got to keep it real here. And we've seen some great communities today, and we've told some great stories and had a great old time. But the question is, who might Sneads Ferry not work for, okay? And I would say anybody that wants that big city energy, that's gonna be a problem here, because this is not New York at night, nor should it ever be, okay? So big city energy is not a thing here. Another thing I would say is anybody that wants major shopping, okay? There are places to get bread and milk and get the basics, but if you want more sophisticated shopping, your best bet is to drive to either Wilmington or Jacksonville, or perhaps go as far as Raleigh and the Crabtree Mall area. Now, because it is the 21st century in 2026, obviously, you can get it online. You can get pretty much anything you want from Amazon, eBay, or something like that. But if you're looking for variety where you can just get in your car and go and do, that's gonna be an issue for you. And finally, nightlife. Let's talk about that for a second. Yes, there's places you can go out and have a nice meal. We've covered some of these restaurants in other videos. But if you want to dance the night away and do other things like that, that's going to be a bit of a problem as well. So you have to look at it where if you want maybe more of a family-oriented environment, I think Sneads Ferry is for you. If you need more of a party-oriented environment, we've got to get you looking at some other possibilities. So look, Sneads Ferry is an incredible place to live, but it all comes down to where you live. If you choose wisely, you'll have an easy commute to work. You'll be able to enjoy festivities and local places. And if you choose poorly, you're going to be stuck in traffic, and it's going to take you longer to get to work, and you might not be happy with the outcome. So this is what I would say to you. If you're military, you're absolutely going to like it, and we need to focus on a place that is either closer to Stone Bay, where MARSOC's located, or maybe the back gate of Camp Lejeune. If you're non-military, you've got a little more flexibility, but maybe we want to focus on one of the communities that's closer to getting to one of the main roads so you can more easily get to Jacksonville or Wilmington. But the answer is this. You've got to take all these things, weigh them up, and come up with what works better for you in your situation. That's the right answer. But anyway, I am ready to help you, whether you're coming in 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months. I help people just like you make decisions that positively influence their future day in and day out. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, give me a call, text, email, and make sure you like and smash that subscribe button for living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina. I am Stephen L. Skakandy with the Skakandy Group, and I look forward to helping you find your next home. Find your next home. Is that okay, or did I?
Yeah. I had to cough. I'm seeing they're so hard trying not to cough.
Too many Did you catch it?
Oh yeah.